This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski and continuing coverage of the case against Bryan Kohberger.
Picture this one. You're a DoorDash driver in Moscow, Idaho. Just trying to make ends meet, like many people do. Delivering Jack in the Box at ungodly hours to college kids with munchies. It's 3:59 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, and you're pulling up to the 1112 King Road house with someone's order. You park, grab the bag, make your delivery to Xander Kernodle, and go about your night. Just another late night food run, right? Wrong, because allegedly parked right next to you is Bryan Kohberger in his white Hyundai Elantra. And within minutes of you leaving, 4 University of Idaho students would be dead. This is the absolutely wild story of how allegedly a 44-year-old DoorDash driver known only as MM became potentially the most important witness in one of the most horrific murder cases in recent memory. And here's the kicker. We only know about her because she got pulled over for expired tags in Pullman, Washington, and decided to casually drop this bombshell on a cop. This is weird.
It's very weird.
This whole thing is weird, and I'm not gonna. I very much cautiously say we do not know if this person is the DoorDash driver. We just don't know right now. DoorDash has not confirmed anything. The police have not confirmed anything. All we have is this person from a body cam claiming that they're the DoorDash driver and that they have to testify in the upcoming trial in kind of a weird state of mind as well.
Here's what's weird about this. We can get confirmation, though, because they know who was on.
Well,
DoorDash does.
DoorDash does, but the affidavit of talking to the DoorDash driver does not list a name. I would imagine the authorities do have it. But here's the big part. The DoorDash driver didn't say anything about seeing Bryan Kohberger there that night.
Maybe it wasn't news until it was news.
It's the biggest part of the story. If there's another person at this thing, you're delivering DoorDash, did you see anyone there? Would probably be one of the first questions. And if your answer is no, then why would it now be you saw Bryan Kohberger there? I mean, it would have already, if it's true, she would have already said it. This is not like I missed that part.
I wonder how much attention they pay to cars that they park next to. You know, I mean, they're kind of in a hurry. They run the food up to the door. They snap a picture of it. They upload it and they head out. Are they paying attention? Well,
at this point, we know what kind of a case this is. Why would she not have disclosed this by this point? And oh yeah, I saw him there. Like almost 3 years later, now you're saying you saw him there?
When did this person admit that they saw him there? How soon after?
This interview, the police interview, I believe took place. It was either late last year or earlier this year. I don't have the exact date in front of me.
I guess what I'm picturing in my head is maybe this person isn't, well, but how could you not know about this murder?
September 24 is when she said it. So
okay.
Let me go through this a little bit more and set the scene. September 24, over a year and a half after the murders, MM gets pulled over by Whitman County Sheriff's deputy for expired registration. Standard traffic stop stuff. But then captured on body cam footage that somehow ended up on YouTube. She drops the absolute bomb. Now I have to testify in a big murder case, too. I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan. I parked right next to him. And let me give you the context of how this is coming out, okay? We'll watch it here in a moment.
Okay.
She's sitting there in a blanket, rocking back and forth in the police station.
Oh,
She's
dear.
saying a lot of stuff. This video is like more than an hour. It's like almost 2 hours long. This is just a small little snippet where she's seemingly otherwise trying to get pity from the officer for all of her ailments. And then this comes in as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So can you imagine being that cop? You're just trying to write a ticket for expired tags, and suddenly you're getting a front row seat to crucial testimony in the most high-profile murder case in the Pacific Northwest. Here's what we know from the timeline, and it's chilling in its precision. Senator Kernodle placed a DoorDash order from Jack in the Box in Pullman. Food arrived at 3:59 a.m. Prosecutors say the murders happened in a 13-minute window between 4:07 and 4:20 a.m. That means this DoorDash driver was potentially one of the last people to see Xana alive, and allegedly saw the accused killer just sitting there in his car, waiting. It's big because this would be an actual eyewitness. Is she credible? That's the big problem with this.
Yeah.
The prosecution has been sitting on this information, keeping MM's identity under wraps while building their case. Court filings reference a DoorDash driver with the initials MM. And Steve Gonzalez, father of victim Kaylee Gonzalez, confirmed to reporters that a private investigator told him the driver was female. But it wasn't until this random traffic stop that we got confirmation, allegedly straight from the source. I don't know that this is the DoorDash driver. We just don't know. What makes it even more surreal is how casually MM mentions it. She's not freaking out or screaming some sort of traumatized thing. She's just kind of matter-of-factly telling the cop, yeah, I have to testify in that big murder case because I saw the guy. It's the same energy as someone complaining about jury duty, except instead of a boring civil case, it's a quadruple homicide where the prosecution is seeking the death penalty. The defense, meanwhile, is scrambling. They've already admitted in court filings that they can't connect Kohberger to the victims or the DoorDash driver. They're trying to float alternative suspect theories while the client's car was allegedly at the scene at the exact time a food delivery driver can place him there. DoorDash has been cooperating with investigators since November 23rd of 2022, providing everything from delivery records dating back to 2019 to communications between drivers and customers. Police obtained photographs, delivery lists, and spreadsheets of driver-customer communications through search warrants served in early December 22. Case gets more complex with each revelation. According to the recent court filings, Kohberger's defense submitted a legal brief stating that prosecution experts will testify their client had no connection to the residents of the home, including the 4 victims, nor the DoorDash driver. Yet here we have MM saying that she saw him there. Let's take a look at that footage, and you tell me how reputable this individual seems to be. It's hard to hear, so beware.
Basically, I'm getting a blood flow and then your leggings my arm.
Okay.
Because my chest is too large. How about you order it all the time? I want to think with it.
Did a doctor diagnose that, or?
She's not saying it yet. She's talking about her diagnoses.
Yes, all pregnant.
Okay.
I have PTSD. I have depression. I have insomnia. My husband murdered in front of me.
So she just said she has PTSD, she has depression, then she says her husband was murdered in front of her.
Oh, boy.
Her friend
Where did that happen?
in Moscow.
In Moscow?
Okay, Moscow doesn't have a lot of murders. So when was this woman's husband murdered in front of her in Moscow, Idaho? Or is the husband something to do with that other shooter that came up like shortly thereafter? I don't know.
Moscow? When was that?
Work with you. The year before me.
Who was your husband?
Charles Michael, he shot me.
And
And then now I have to testify. They murdered his tears, so yeah, because I'm a DoorDash driver, so yeah.
you have to testify in which murder case?
Murder case with the college girl.
Oh.
And she refers to the case as the murdered college girls. Very generic way of stating this. I mean, if you're involved in this case, I think you might be more, I don't know. She doesn't look credible. If you're listening to this, she's not even like looking at the interviewer. She's like seems to be talking to someone in the air that's next to her.
Yeah, credibility wise, I'm getting
Nothing.
icky feelings here. I'm not sure she has the mental clarity.
Stuff.
I think she's making it up. I don't think she's the DoorDash driver. Could be wrong. Maybe she is, and this is just a really, really low point for her right now. And, you know, it's 3 years later. A lot can happen to somebody. But judging by my husband was murdered in front of me, she's making really extreme statements.
Yeah.
One after the other. That could be for attention. I mean, or it could be legit. I don't know. I mean, the defense would have a heyday with that if you brought her in as a witness, quite honestly. I don't think she's someone you'd even consider bringing in.
No, I think she needs to be ruled out pretty rapidly.
Yeah. I mean, they already have a pretty big case. I don't know that they would need to bring her in. The trial's been moved from Moscow to Boise with jury selection starting in late July. Judge Stephen Hippler is also dealing with defense allegations of evidence leaks after previously unreleased information aired on NBC's Dateline last month. There's a hearing that's taking place today, actually, about potentially delaying the trial, which prosecutors oppose, followed by closed-door arguments about the defense's alternate suspect theory. Oh, to be a fly on the wall for that.
Right.
The tragic reality is that 4 brilliant young people lost their lives in what should have been the safety of their own home. Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, both 21-year-old seniors, Xana Kernodle, a 20-year-old junior, and Ethan Chapin, a 20-year-old freshman, had their whole lives ahead of them. Their families now face a trial where every detail matters, including a late-night food delivery that preceded unimaginable horror. MM was just trying to make a living in the gig economy and ended up at the center of one of the most shocking criminal cases of the decade, if this is her. Her testimony could be crucial in establishing Kohberger's presence at the scene. The fact that she revealed information so casually during a traffic stop is a little bit weird, and we saw how weird that was. It's going to be very, very telling to see where that goes.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing, though. You know, they know who was on that night. They know who delivered. Know
that'll be
who
cleared
took
up.
that.
Yeah.
You know, so if that person saw anything, DoorDash and the police have to know who that person is.
Your problem is if this is the DoorDash driver and she's saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's concerning because let's just say for shit's sake that she was, in fact, the driver.
Mm-hmm.
She did park next to a white Elantra and she delivered food and she left. Let's just say she really was there. And let's just say allegedly Bryan Kohberger was the one and he was there. She doesn't seem, by the looks of this video, and this is my opinion, but she doesn't look like somebody that could help a case like this. She doesn't look like she's credible. She looks disturbed.
Yeah.
Like she's got some things going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that somebody with some things going on can't be a credible witness, but she needs to have her shit together to be a witness in something as serious as this.
Yeah.
Credibility is everything. I'm not sure I'd want her making a sub sandwich for me at this point.
I don't want her delivering my food either.
She doesn't seem stable.
No, she needs help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She looks traumatized. Whatever has traumatized her
I mean, she got pulled over for expired tags.
Why is she actually at the police station? That's what I'm not understanding. I've been pulled over for expired. We call them tabs where I am. I've been pulled over for that.
Oh, it was a DUI arrest eventually because.
Oh, okay.
She got pulled over for the tags, but she was. They suspected DUI. I don't know what it came out to be, but that's where the whole thing came out of. So you have someone who's on something, sitting in that police station, talking basically to the hallway.
Yeah.
And not communicating with the person interviewing, shaking and rocking back and forth, saying they were the DoorDash driver. Okay, if that is the DoorDash driver and she's saying that now, that is not. I don't know that I buy it. Even if she is the DoorDash driver, and I'm not like saying I don't think Bryan Kohberger did this. I do. But 3 years later, someone in her state. I don't know. It's not crazy to think that you might say some things to people to get some attention and to be like, look how big of a part I am of something. I saw him there, even if you really didn't. And you start telling the story because you were the driver and you were there really close to where this could have happened. And maybe you could have seen him. Maybe you start thinking, well, there was a white car near. Maybe that was. And your brain starts going. It's called a false memory. And we do have them. We're very good at those. We are very good at creating false memories, especially on something like this.
Yeah.
Where you're very close to a very big event, moments from possibly actually seeing the actual killer. It's not crazy to think someone may tell themselves that they did. And at the moment when they're being questioned, they didn't. But the lore keeps going and like, yeah, my friend's a DoorDash driver from that. Can you believe that shit? Did you see him? I did. It's how people work. Even if you're not trying to tell lies and fabricate, people do. So I could see that being this. Maybe she is the DoorDash driver. It's a weird statement to make in the midst of where she was at as well. And that's not to say that it's not true that she's a DoorDash driver, because I don't know why someone would just make that statement in that sort of state that she was in. That would just be, it's a weird random one to jump at. So is saying you saw your husband killed in front of you. Unless your husband actually was killed in front of you.
It's a weird thing to blurt out loud.
Yeah.
Like really weird.
More questions in this. In the comments, let us know your thoughts. Is this the DoorDash driver? And if it is, did she see him? Or is it just too much of a risk to even put that out there? Because if you put that out there, the defense is going to go, why did you not? The most important thing you could have said when you were being questioned just moments after this stuff happened. You omitted that part. And 3 years later, you have a better memory of this? Yeah. I don't think it adds up.
That's troubling.
So, comment section on YouTube. Let us know what your thoughts are. Press subscribe wherever you're downloading podcasts so you don't miss any of the cases we're covering for you right here. For Stacy, I'm Tony. We'll talk again real soon.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.